So as you can see here, I've got two M93Rs here. So these are KWA. I have videos on these pistols. I haven't done one in a long time, and I think I only uploaded videos shooting and a couple gameplay years and years and years ago. I'm talking like when I had 1,000 subscribers or less. So I decided, my brother has one of these. He just got one in a trade, I would assume. I don't think he actually purchased it. I think it was a deal in a trade. And then I own one. I've had this thing for probably 4 years now, and I have not used it I haven't played a game with this pistol in probably 2 years. So the gun is in great shape, but it is old. This one, I believe, is a newer model. I believe this one is only a year old, and it doesn't seem like it's seen much use. This is also for sale, so if you're interested in one of these, this is going to be for sale. But yeah, these are awesome pistols. They're very iconic. They're very hard to find in real life, and very illegal, and very expensive too, because they shoot full auto in 3-round bursts. So they're also, not to mention, like, ultra rare. So they're cool pistols. They came out in like the 80s, I believe, or maybe the 70s. I think it was the 80s or 90s. These were basically I guess you could say, update to the M9 of sorts. It's basically a full auto, a select fire, let me put it that way, select fire version of the M9. So you have 3-round burst and you have full auto on the airsoft version and the real one. And there's a couple other things a lot of things that are actually different about this, compared to the M9. But it's the same platform of pistol, and it does come from Beretta, which is the same company that makes the standard M9. So I am a huge fan of M9s. I've got a KWA M9 and also the M93. So huge fan. So let's just start going over features on one of these pistols. So this is my brother's. So let's just start from the front and go to the back. So on the front here, we've got a extended barrel. It's not really extended. The M9 comes to about the same spot, but it has a compensator. It's got these grooves in the barrel. What that's meant to do is, on the real one, gas is going to escape here, and it's going to make it so that the muzzle doesn't rise as much. So it's just a compensation for recoil. Moving forward, we have a, so I know you're probably asking, so is the barrel the same length as an M9? It's very close. So you probably can't see this first notch, the inner barrel stops. Whereas with the M9, the inner barrel's like back here, like ever so slightly. So it's like maybe half an inch longer, so not much. I figure I might get a question like that for somebody that's wanting to know technical terms, or technicalities. The barrel is just a little bit longer than the standard M9, but this inner barrel probably would fit an M9 outer barrel. It would just go to the tip, whereas normally it sits in just a little bit. Moving forward, we have a metal slide. It is a pretty light slide. You can cock it. There's not much recoil with this gun. It's very light. It looks beefy back here, but KWA uses a pretty light aluminum. I don't think this aluminum is CNC'd. I don't know. I've never seen that in a description from KWA from like their pistols. They never say CNC, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it is CNC produced on the slide, but I'm not sure. But it is a pretty light aluminum. The markings on the slide, it says KWA M93R. Cal 6mm, and then a serial number on the bottom. Now I will mention this is the older one that I have, and you can see, I don't know if you can tell, the markings. The top one is the newer one. The markings are deeper, not a whole lot deeper, maybe like twice as deep as far as the actual engraving there, whereas this one is actually pretty light. Like, honestly, you can barely see the markings. So, obviously, they changed it up a little bit. The location of the markings are the same. Same font, but just deeper on the newer one, which I actually kind of like. It actually looks pretty good. It looks professional. The barrel is plastic. That's something that KWA does in most of their barrels. I don't like it. My M9 actually blew a barrel because it's plastic. It's a polymer, so it's pretty strong, but it just completely cracked on the bottom portion. So I had to buy a new one. So I'd rather it be metal. Sights wise, it's got a front dot sight and then a little line in the back here, so it's pretty easy to line up. The front here, it actually has a vertical grip, so some people will hold it like this. It's actually supposed to be held like this. That's why it's got a gigantic trigger guard here, so you can put your thumb in there and hold it like this. Now, they do sell a stock that'll attach to here, and so you can shoulder it. I've always wanted to get one of those, but I don't know. I've just never pulled the trigger on them. Sometimes they're kind of hard to find as well. So I don't know. It's just something I've never invested into. So other features, it's got your standard KWA slide lock, or sorry, M9 slide lock right there, one side. Selector switch here. As you can see on the slide, there's one dot that is semi. Right in between is 3-round burst, and the bottom where the 3 dots are, or sorry, in the middle is full auto. On the bottom is where the 3 dots are, is 3-round burst. Sorry, I haven't even picked these guns up in a long time. My KWA just kind of sits. The safety back here, down is on safe, up is fire. It is considered single action because there's no double action like an M9. So it does use a different mechanical internals, and that is single action. What else? The grip itself is extremely thick right here because there's actually parts housed in here. So that's why it's really thick there. So it can kind of be uncomfortable to hold from if you're left-handed because it's kind of right there. But when you're actually a righty, it fits perfect. So I think that's it on the features. Standard mag catch there too. The hop-up is on the inside of the chamber here. It's easy to adjust. It's like every KWA pistol, but these buckings swell up. And when they swell up, they're bad. KWA buckings do swell, so do not get lubricant on the inside of this. Do not. And that's for every KWA pistol or rifle, every gas blowback from them. So I'd recommend running propane, or you can HPA, just like I did. I have 5 of these 32 rounders, HPA tapped. I have all 5. And then I do actually have a couple standard length magazines, M9 style, for my M9. The M9 magazines fit this pistol totally fine. The base plate looks a little weird. It'll fit the 32 rounders, which are made. These are like the M93 style. And then you can also fit a 50 rounder. So this is a nice mag. This is actually included with the pistol if somebody buys it. The pistol's for sale. It's actually going to include a 32 rounder, which came with it, and the 50 rounder. To take it apart, all you do is you can keep the slide lock back. Swing this down by pushing in the button on this side, holding it and swinging it, and then you can hit the slide and the whole thing will come off. Now the KWAs are very picky with their spring guides because this thing will just go shooting out. So when you take this apart, be very careful, try to hold this down. The TMs and WEs are not like this, so it's a totally different system. Although TM and Tokyo Marui and WE do not make M93Rs, but it's nothing like the M9. Well, actually, the KWA M9 is just like this, so it's just the KWA's design. If TM or WE made an M93, which, oh, I really hope they do, like, somebody has got to make another M93 gas blowback besides KWA. I guarantee if TM made it, they would make it just like their M9 and not do this kind of weird thing. I don't like this design at all. It's not as easy to put back together. It's proprietary, too. Everything in here is in nice shape. This is the one that is for sale, so if anyone's interested, I think we're looking at like 170 shipped for the pistol with the 50 rounder and a 32 rounder. Gas, these two right here, and then the pistol. Okay, so I think that's it. As far as feet per second, these actually shoot pretty hard. So these are good for if you want like that 350 mark with a .2 and you play indoor, you want a higher FPS instead of getting like 320 with the 2, like some of those, you know, other pistols. Like there are a lot of pistols that just shoot like really low FPS. This one shoots a little bit harder. I think with mine I was getting like 360 with .2s is like pretty consistent with HPA at least. I think I was running like 100 PSI. My pistol shoots a little bit harder, 328, 325, 321. This one's pretty consistent though. 322, 322, 320, 320. pretty consistent. So this one is lower feet per second than mine. We're seeing 320 with the 2.5 is 1.2 joules. So we're seeing about 350 with the 2. So this would be indoor legal. And as you see there, it does function on 3-round bursts. Let's just dump it on full auto. And, okay, so I've got my Redline SFR on here with 100 PSI. That's where I run mine. And this is my brother's ASG tank. I am super impressed with the ASG tanks, the Ultra Air. This is a 68 cubic inch 4500, and it has 1,000 PSI left. I'm not a huge fan of the 4500s because a lot of fuels can't fill 4500s. They can only fill 3,000, like as far as fill stations, so you're not even getting full use out of a 45 tank. As you can see there, it's not too much, not too little. These are 2.5s, and this thing is shooting really nice with 2.5s. Oh yeah. Yeah, do I dare say 200 feet on this thing? Jeez. That's pretty far. Probably 170, 180 with 2.5s on this, with the HPA at least. Very consistent. Let me go ahead and toss another mag in it, and we'll chrono it at 100 PSI to see, you know, what sort of energy I'm getting out of the gun. 2.5 still, 100 PSI. 318. 325. That was quite a jump there. 319. 322. 322. 319. To the edge of the woods here. Oh yeah. Super accurate. Let's just do full auto. Again, mine does not do 3-round burst. And as you can see with HPA, there's no gas spraying out. There's no cooldown. I can sit here and just dump a mag. So let's go ahead and try the other M93. I did notice with this one, we're still at 100 PSI, and it doesn't cycle quite as quick. You see it? But it shoots really accurately. So you can just tell the difference. This one cycles slower. I'm not sure why. But the hop-up's doing its thing. Let's try some full auto. Oh yeah. Shoots just fine as far as accuracy and consistency. 120. So this, as you can see there, it cycles faster. This is the one that is for sale with the orange tip. And as you can see, it cycles just as fast as mine when you crank it up to 120. And 120 is not, this is not enough to break the pistol. This is functioning PSI for this pistol. For this one, it needs 100.